Let's talk MOT tests. We are liver than a live thing, streaming from Sunny Tech Automotive Studios in the UK, England, this part of Europe, whatever you fancy. Here we are, Sunday night. We're back again. It was unanimously voted. Sunday night is the place to be. 7 o'clock English time. Welcome all. Welcome all. Welcome all. Thank you, Mike. Good on all platforms. That means we are streaming live and 5. My internet provider has been an absolute nightmare at this moment in time. So it may drop onto 4G. Don't panic. I ain't going anywhere. So, welcome. What weather we've had this weekend. It's been quality. Oh, man. If you've not been able to get out doing stuff you want, cutting grass, cleaning cars, general DIY crap, then why? This is the weather. This is the weather for you guys. So, thank you very much for joining me this lovely Sunday evening. It is, again, the end of a week. Start again tomorrow. Absolute nightmare. But it is what it is. So here we are talking MOT tests. It's an MOT test special, if you like. We all hate them. We've all got to have one, unless your car's younger than 3. So MOTs, there is so much to an MOT that the normal Joe Blogs won't actually know or see or anything really. So just quickly before we get into the MOT thing, I have got a video coming of it's effective. This is going to tie in well. It's going to tie in well of a what we call an all-in warranty / it's basically an all-in plan. So what it is this is I'm talking from Volkswagen only, but I believe it does go across Skoda, Seat and Audi as well. It basically is like an insurance, if you like. So you pay 30 odd quid a month. I'm not going to give you specifics because I can't remember them. 30 odd quid a month, I believe. It gets you a certain amount of services, warranty, breakdown cover, and MOTs. Gets you a couple of them for this £30 a month. There are obviously criteria to that. Your car's got to be under 100,000 miles, under 6 years old, less than a 2 litre or less. There's lots of different things to that. But I'm going to do a video on that. I just thought I'd touch on it just quickly. That's like a clever little plan, if you like, for cars coming out of warranty. Just a little bit of a safety blanket should you need it. It's always nice to have, just in case. Even if you don't use it, 30 quid a month's going to get you out of the shit if your clutch goes or your flywheel goes or something really expensive goes. That's going to help you massively. So that's a quick touch on that. I'm going to do a video. There'll be presentation. There'll be me pointing things out. Be mad. But that's what I'm going to do. Good evening, Andy. Nice to see you here, buddy. We are talking MOT tests tonight. Unfortunately, well, no, it is going to include you to a point. Although you do have NCTs in Ireland, which is basically the Irish version of an MOT. There might be some different rules and regs. I'm not sure totally. But good evening. So MOT tests. Here we are. It's the 3 letters that everyone dreads every year. That 12-month mark where you think, shit, this is going to cost me a lot of money. And like it or lump it, it's got to be done. And it's never at the right time. Let's be honest. You can never have a great time for an MOT because if your car's not new or a newer car, it's just disaster, isn't it? Oh, you're a UK island. You're not an island. You have to. I'll speak for England then. I'll speak for England. Okay. So MOTs, there's so much to them. I'm an MOT tester myself, which is why I can speak from experience based on this. We don't like failing cars. We don't like it. It's loads of paperwork. It's loads of grief for you guys that own the cars. It's hassle. It's a clusterfuck. We don't like failing them. So, contrary to the popular belief of MOT testers are jobs worths or power mad or anything along them lines, we're actually not. We're actually not. And in the MOT testing manual, there's more items left to testers' discretion than you might think. And this MOT manual is available for absolutely everyone to read. Just go on Google MOT manual, and whatever class of vehicle you are, it'll come up. So if your car's class 4, if you're a little bit heavier cars, class 7, motorbikes and all that stuff, it's all on there. It's all on there. There's no hiding, there's no hidden things, there's nothing we're going to trip you up on. Again, we test to the manual. We're not allowed to test any other way, and we wouldn't. We test to a manual. That manual is huge. It's huge. So we check your car, everything. Wipers, seats, a lot of things inside, a lot of things outside, a lot of things underneath. Now, it's not a case of just looking at them. Sometimes we physically test them. We get a bar, we're checking ball joints, we're checking bits and bobs like suspension components, everything. We're checking, whether it's a visual check, a check with a bar, check with a wibble, check with a wobble, check with someone sat in the car and where underneath it. There's lots of things to check. And again, there's lots of things that you don't need to check. Weird that, isn't it? Weird. Rear wipers being one of them. A lot of people seem to think the rear wiper has to work for an MOT. Doesn't. Does not. Check the manual. No, rear wiper does not need to be there. That's you can use a rule of thumb with vans, really, because some vans don't have back windows, so it would be really pointless having a rear wiper there. So if you think about it that way. Again, wing mirrors, they're testable, but you have to have 2. So that includes your rear view mirror as well. So as long as you've got 2 views to the back, obviously you need the driver's side one. That's what they call obligatory. So you have to have the driver's wing mirror. But you can have a rear view mirror. You can have a left-hand side. Of all sorts. This is what it is. Became a good lady wife. So yeah, there's so much. If any of you guys out there have got any questions on MOTs, feel free, because there's loads of stuff. You won't believe what we have to and what we don't have to check. It's mad. It's mad. And Andy's chipping in here. MOT in Northern Ireland is only carried out in a government regional test centres, similar format to the council ones in Great Britain. Council ones, I think they're phasing them out, buddy, in England. They used to be the ones that did all like the council vehicles, like your bin lorries and bits and bobs like that, and they also did the taxi tests. I don't think that's a thing anymore, mate. Don't think that's a thing, buddy. There's plenty of Kevin Websters here. Plenty of Kevin Websters here. It's quite terrifying sometimes. But when I was in Spain, and I just thought, oh, I'll have a look what the Spanish version of an MOT is, and it's an ICT. And I was looking at some of their rules, and it's basically, if it's got 4 wheels, they turn, and you've got a couple of lights that may or may not work, you're all right. You're all right. And some of the cars over there are absolutely haggard. They're older than an old thing, but you have to think they have considerably better weather than us with regards to not really any snow. If there is, it's not for long. They don't have the wet weather that we have, and they don't have the cold climate that we have. So the rust and all that's well out. So you'll see cars here, like your Renault Clios, your Fiat Puntos and stuff like that. You think, how the hell is that still on the road? You'll see them over there. They're about 10 years older than that, still going, because they don't suffer the rust. So it's very regional, very countrywide. Our climate is crap for metal. Sorry, but it is. Our climate is terrible for metal. And you'll find that it affects everything, brake discs, exhaust systems, everything like that. Untreated metal. So anything untreated on your vehicle, it's going to get. So if you've got nice paintwork, it's nice and protected and covered, you're fine. You're fine. It's only when it's compromised and that rust protection isn't there anymore, that's when it's going to eat it. So you break this and that. I've had a lot of this, to be fair, before. People, when they go out to the car in the morning and there's a tiny layer of surface corrosion on the brakes and they think that's it, the brakes are knackered. They're not, because it's exposed metal and to the colder climate and very moist climate that we have. That's all it is, a bit of surface. And once you're down the road, it's gone. It will wear off straight away. So there's corrosion, and then there's not. There's a bit of surface rust. So don't panic too much. But there are a lot of areas on an MOT for corrosion. Effectively, the way I was taught is if you can stand under your car with a beach ball, so 30 centimetres, that's roughly what they're saying a beach ball is, anything within that beach ball zone to a prescribed area, what they call, so like your seatbelt anchor points, your suspension anchor points, subframes, anything like that. If you're 30 centimetres within one of them, that's game over. That needs sorted. There's a lot of areas such as subframe welding. I know people don't agree with it. If you've had to repair a subframe, it's toast. It's foobar. Andy McAfee will know foobar quite well. A registration plate of his. Anyway, Andy said the Dutch version of an MOT is an APK. It's pretty tough, about halfway between the UK MOT and the German. They don't have any form of testing for motorbikes. Interesting to know, buddy. We test motorbikes. It's not a huge test for obvious reasons. But the German MOT is something else. The German MOT is mental. Their legal limit for tyres is 4 mil, which is like almost half one tyre here. But yeah, 4 mil is their legal limit in the German country of Germania. 4 mil. And it's 1.6 here. Big difference. And 1.6 mil on a tyre is nothing. Ladies and gentlemen out there, it is bugger all. 1.6 mil is terrifying. If you're still rocking around on a tyre that's got 1.6 mil on it, you either don't value your life or you aren't checked, or both. So yeah, 1.6 is pretty low. But the MOT in the UK, or in England, if you like, is minimum standard. Minimum standard. So we're not testing as in we'll be checking your car as a service. We are checking for minimum standard. So that's what it is. I've heard a lot of things about this, Andy. If you can powder coat your brake disc, cover your brake disc in copper grease or anything like that, they're not going to rot. Just a little disclaimer here, guys. Don't do that. Don't put anything on your brake discs. That is a little bit of banter. Don't put out on your brake disc. That is what they're designed to do. If you put anything on there. I've had a customer once that's their car's been recovered to me, and they've said someone told them, because they had a bit of a squeaky brake, to spray WD-40 on their brakes. It happens. So they sprayed WD-40 on the brakes, went to press the brakes, and nothing happened. Brakes didn't work. Fortunately, she came to a stop without hurting herself or anyone else. Car got recovered to us. Discs and pads all around it. It destroyed the pads, and the discs are just no. Why? But people are out there giving this horrendous advice of silly little things like that. Don't do it, guys. Ask a mechanic, ask a technician, anyone like that. Don't ask on a forum if you want a serious answer. And particularly if it's going to be safety related, like brakes, tyres, suspension, steering, take it to a garage if you're not sure. And all them come into an MOT test as well. We check tyres, we check brakes, we check suspension, we check steering. It's all in there. We just make it look easy. When you've been doing the same thing years and years and years, though, yeah, it becomes second nature. The NCT in the Republic of Ireland is one of the worst in the EU. So to be fair, I've got a car that I look after, and it's an Astra, and it's from Ireland, and it's only had 2 MOTs in the UK, or in England, sorry. The rest of them were done in Ireland. Now, looking at the car, it's a 13-plate car. There's not a huge amount of miles on it, but it has been well looked after. It should be in a lot worse condition than it is. But because, like Andy said, the NCT is really, really strict, they have to keep on top of it. So it's a good thing, and then it's not a good thing at the same time. It's a good thing in the fact that your cars, the stricter the testing is for the year, then obviously the better condition cars are going to be, and there's going to be a lot better, safer cars on the road. purely based on the fact you're going to have to spend more. You're going to have to pay for more things to be changed. Tyres are going to be keen on, brakes, anything like that. They're going to be keen on. Some people like to drive around in a car that just scrapes through MOT every year. Some people are very keen and even get the advisories done. At each of their own, they are only an advisory, but again, to your safety, we are only testing to minimum standard. So that means it's very, very close if we're advising. Very, very close. If you think minimum standard is on a brake pad in the UK, 1.5 millimeters on brake pad. Yeah. So Volkswagen's minimum standard as a service is 2 mil. The UK or England on the MOT is 1.5. Now, if you look at 1.5 mil on anything, it's bugger all. It's not a lot at all. So you think if you go down the road, say a bypass motorway, 1.5 mil on your pads, and you have to use them brake pads a little bit harder than you normally would, they could quite happily just disintegrate. That's how low 1.5 mil is. They could just disintegrate. I know. So if we're advising your brake pads are running low, they are low. They are seriously low. So that's why we do it. That's a strange route to buy a car too. And no, he lived in Ireland for a bit, mate. His dad lives in Ireland. His mum lives in England. So he come back over to live with his mum. That's basically the easy way of doing it. Explaining it. Hello, nice to meet a new character here. Let us know where you're from. And welcome. So what we're talking is MOT tests. If you aren't from England or the United Kingdom, we can try and gauge it a little bit to where you're from. But welcome. Yeah, 1.5 pads with 1.6 mil tyre is living life on the edge. It is living life on the edge. I've seen worse. I've seen a lot worse. I've seen it on newer cars as well. What did I do? I did a 70 plate Tiguan. I MOT'd no, it wasn't an MOT, sorry, it was just a service. 70 plates Tiguan, and what had it done? 22,000 miles. That's all. There was nothing left of the front tyres. Nothing. I literally put the depth gauge on. I don't know why I did it, to be fair. 0.4. 0.4. What? Driver checks, guys. Driver checks. Dead easy. There's a video on my YouTube channel of how to check your tyres without any special tools. Even if you just run your hand along it. There's wear bars on a tyre. They're put there by the manufacturer. If they're smooth, tyre's knackered. If they're a little bit lower than where your tread is at, they're all right. If you're not sure, take it to a garage, get it checked out. No, not many garages will charge you for a tyre check. It's a bit rude if they do. It's a safety thing at the end of the day. But if you're not sure, get a garage to check it out. Because them tyres were shiny and the weather was crap that day as well. So I don't know how they stopped. Not sure. But they did, obviously. Obviously, I wouldn't road test it due to it being illegal. And that's just how it is. And there's a lot of cars coming in at the minute with tyres bolder than a bold thing. Just check them. Just run your hand over them. If it don't feel right, garage. That's it. It's going to cost you money regardless. Tyres wear out regardless. You can be as careful as you like. They're always in contact with the road. They're going to wear out. Same with your brakes. You can't get around it. Unfortunately, it does cost money. So do lives. So do lives. So what you're thinking, you're saving a couple of quid on not replacing a tyre. You're really not, because you're putting your own life at risk and other people on the road as well. This is the mentality that England seem to have. They will take everything to the bare bones of bugger all and then moan about it, that they don't want to pay the price. I see it a lot on higher end cars. It's weird how this works. Higher end cars, and they've got budget tyres on. They don't want to spend the money on brakes. They can't see anything out their windscreen wipers. In the first 3 years of a brand new vehicle, thanks, Mum. Oh, 20%. Oh, nudge. In the first 3 years of a car, from new, you don't have an MOT. A lot can go wrong in 3 years. A lot. It's not down to a mileage thing either. 3 years, you don't have an MOT. You have a service. You don't have to get anything done on your service. You literally just have the oil changed. 3 years. And I've seen cars rock up 120k in 3 years. They're coming for an MOT. Everything's hanging off. Everything. It's terrifying. A nice little drink, that. Calypso watermelon. Foreign. It's all good. Night, Mr. B. It's all right, buddy. I will speak to you tomorrow, no problem. So, MOTs. Painful, isn't it? Absolutely painful. So, we've got another 9 minutes. I have shrunk them down just a little bit at the minute. Got another 9 minutes to ask you questions about MOTs. And then we'll pop on. We do move over now, which is dead weird. I've never really been a thing. We move over to TikTok. It's another little audience to capture there of mechanics and people that want to know. So that's what we do. So if you want to follow the Tech Automotive TikTok, if you're on TikTok, go do that. Carry on asking me questions. And there's not so much of a delay. There's a little bit of a delay on YouTube. It takes me a couple of seconds to actually see your comment. And then it takes a little bit for you to get a reply. It's not me. It's how YouTube delay it. I think there's a 10-second delay on everything. So you'll send a message, 10 seconds. It'll appear on my screen, 10 seconds. It's weird. It's weird how it works. But TikTok's instant. So if you want to follow the TikTok channel, do it. Tech Automotive are quite prominent on most social medias. It's just what we do. Just gets the story about. Shows what we do, spreads some of the love. And obviously gets all platforms working together. Oh, you put gin in that, haven't you? Wow. An innocent drink, and here she is putting gin in it. Well, what can we say, guys? So, a few minutes left, kids, and then we'll jump over to TikTok and talk cars on there as well. Why not? Nice drink that is. Anyone there interested in that? It's a Calypso triple watermelon thing. Rach got it in some thing she has to review, but we'll enjoy that. So we have, at this moment in time, shortened the live down to half an hour. But then there is another half an hour on TikTok, like I say. It keeps all the platforms going, and means I'm not sat in front of a camera for hours on end on a Sunday night, particularly when Bargain Loving Brits is on at 8 o'clock. Everyone needs to watch that. Channel 5, Bargain Loving Brits in the sun. It's based in Benidorm, which I've just been. And yeah, get on it. Get on it. Did a little video earlier. It took me absolute hours on my car. As some of you may be aware, my car was in the body shop this week. Not so great news. It was actually horrific. It appears that before I bought my car had been in some form of a nasty accident. And that had been covered up by filler. Filler and patchwork and everything crap. And that was highlighted on Monday. So start of the week, you think Monday, yeah, Monday's going to be a shit day. It was. So bad news on Monday. Car's been in a shit accident. It's been covered up. You don't know about it. Sorry, not sorry. It's going to cost you thousands. Awesome. So that was it. But fortunately, people have pulled together. People have helped me out massively. I don't mean financially either. Just people that you know, and it turns out it's been repaired. Now, if you have a look at the latest video, it's only just over a minute long, but it is what I've achieved on the car this weekend with my son Jack. He's helped me snow foam it as well, and the good lady wife providing hot beverages and babysitting. She's a good egg, really. She's currently sat in there. She's best not be touching that ice cream. Not yet. She's not yet. That's good. That's good. Yeah, Andy, totally. You're one of the few people that have actually spoke to me personally about it. It was handled badly. You could put it that way. Obviously, I really do want to swear, curse, and go off on one. It's no guy's fault out there, but it is. But not one of my supporters. It was fucking terrible. Basically, I'm still pissed off about it. I don't think I'll ever be right about it. What can you do? It was in an accident. Someone wanted to do a cheap job. It obviously looks like it's been covered up at some point. And I was the poor bugger that had to buy that car. It's a bit of a sore subject to the wife and all because I paid quite a bit of a deposit that I'm sure I spoke to her about it in my head. Turns out I didn't talk to her about it out loud or in my head. I just paid a big deposit. Did not like that. It seems to be a thing for us blokes. But I did well, to be fair. I agreed to buy a car and she walked straight out of the dealership. But like a true champ, I carried on with that deal and I bought the car. And then I suffered the consequences on the way home. So yeah, that was an interesting ride home. But yeah, unfortunately, it was a bit of shit news. But to be fair, the car is looking fantastic now. Lovely and clean as well. The bodywork that was done to it this week just gone absolutely phenomenal. There is a video, I think that's on TikTok as well. I did a transformation video. It might come up as a short actually on the channel, on this channel. Have a look because from what it was to what it is now is a massive difference. And I treated it to a nice wax and protection today, so hopefully it lasts a little bit. Also a new set of wiper blades. Got to think of that MOT, guys. I think it's due in June, maybe June. We'll go with that. So unfortunately, MOTs, I know it sucks. Rubbish, innit? But what are you going to do? So any guys out there that are here, are you coming over to TikTok with me? Don't make it bounce over there. Honestly, the messages are instant. Go make it bounce over there. You can actually send me likes and stuff like that as well. It reaches more people as well. So that'd be great if you could. And we'll talk cars. And we can use crazy filters and things like that. I don't normally tend to do it, to be fair. I was pissing about last week. It was interesting. Oh yeah, reading a book. Right, guys, we are gonna call it an evening there. Thank you very much for coming. It's always good to see you guys on a Sunday. Remember, next Sunday, 7 o'clock. Daylight, a bit longer on days as well. Way. See you on TikTok if you're coming over with me now. Thank you very much. Take care and have a great week.